Long before the first cities of the Old World rose into the sky, North America was already home to countless indigenous nations, each shaped by the rhythm of the land. For thousands of years, native peoples adapted to forests, plains, deserts, and icy coastlines, mastering every environment they inhabited. Their story is not simply one of hardship, but of innovation, resilience, and a relationship with nature that guided every decision and every generation. As the last ice age faded, small bands of families moved across the continent, following mammoths, bison, and ancient horses. They explored rivers that stretched beyond the horizon and forests so dense that sunlight barely touched the ground. These early travelers carried only what they could craft with their hands: stone blades, wooden spears, woven baskets, yet they built a foundation for all cultures that would follow. On the Great Plains, the world seemed endless. Here, bison herds thundered across thousands of kilometers, and indigenous nations learned to read every sound, every track, and every shift in the wind. The hunt was a test of knowledge, predicting the herd's movement, using the terrain to their advantage, and choosing the moment that honored both the animal and the community. Every part of the bison supported life. Hides became teepees and clothing, bones became tools, and meat sustained entire families. Communities traveled with the seasons, building a lifestyle that blended mobility with deep-rooted traditions. Far to the east, the forests created a different kind of world. Rivers connected villages like ancient highways, and the land provided fish, deer, wild plants, and fertile soil. Here developed one of the greatest agricultural systems of the ancient Americas: the Three Sisters: corn, beans, and squash, plants that nourished countless communities. Longhouses, built from wood and bark, stretched like living archives, containing multiple generations of families. Councils gathered to resolve conflicts, strengthen alliances, and organize trade journeys that extended from the Great Lakes to the Atlantic coast. In the deserts of the Southwest, survival required remarkable ingenuity. The ancestral Puebloans built multi-story dwellings from adobe and stone, some carved directly into canyon walls. These structures were engineered to remain cool in the heat and warm during cold desert nights. To farm in such a dry climate, they constructed irrigation canals that carried precious water from mountain streams to their fields. Their pottery, intricate weaving, and celestial knowledge reflected a deep understanding of both land and sky. Along the Pacific Northwest coast, life followed the rhythm of the tides. Massive cedar trees became the source of carved canoes, wooden houses, and towering totem poles. The ocean provided salmon, shellfish, and seals, supporting large, complex societies. Totem poles rose above coastal villages, carved with symbols representing ancestry, history, and the bonds between people and nature. These communities developed rich artistic and ceremonial traditions shaped by the forests and the sea. Despite the distance between regions, native nations were never isolated. A vast network of trade routes connected the entire continent. Obsidian blades from the west, copper from the Great Lakes, turquoise from the southwest, and seashells from the Atlantic traveled through generations of skilled traders. With every exchanged object came ideas, technologies, and stories, weaving a continental tapestry of cultural exchange. Life moved with the seasons. Winter demanded shelter, fire, and careful preservation of food. Spring brought renewal, fresh plants, migrating animals, and preparations for hunting and planting. Summer offered abundance: fishing, farming, building, and gathering. Autumn marked the time to prepare for the cold months ahead. This cycle shaped daily life for centuries, grounding people in both survival and tradition. Knowledge was preserved through spoken stories. Elders taught children the paths of the animals, the names of the stars, the rules of respect for the land, and the meaning behind each ceremony. These stories were more than tales. They were practical instructions for life. Every river held lessons, every mountain carried memory, and every valley contained the traces of those who had walked it before. By the time Europeans arrived, more than 500 indigenous nations lived across North America, each with its own language, architecture, technologies, and worldview. These societies were diverse, sophisticated, and deeply connected to their environments. They built communities, governments, innovations, and cultural identities as rich and complex as any in the world. Today, Native American nations continue to preserve their traditions, protect their lands, and carry forward the knowledge of thousands of years. Their legacy lives on in their languages, in their stories, and in the enduring relationship between people and the natural world.
From the great water.
Safe travels. We are ready to trade when you are.
The journey was long, but we brought much.
Careful with the sinew, my son. It must be tight.
Slowly. Let the wood tell you.
The sinew is strong.
And the river remembers, always.
Peak in a scene, it watches over us.
And that is how the first people learned to speak with the wind.
Feel the pull, son. Steady your breath.
This one, child, it brings strength to the spirit.
Look up, my children. Our stories are written among the stars.
Good harvest. The soil is rich.